Welcome, my name is Jennifer, and this is a prenatal yoga practice. We're going to explore this beautiful journey that we're in through movement, mindful breathing, and a little bit of meditation. This is a way to connect to our changing bodies, strengthening our bodies, and really preparing ourselves for whatever lays ahead. I myself am 6 months pregnant and have been finding yoga very helpful and wonderful, and I hope that this practice provides you a similar experience. Let's come to an easy seat on our mat, Sukhasana. Find yourself grounding in here. If you need to sit on a blanket, a bolster, or a block, feel free to do so. Just come into the moment, sitting nice and tall, hands on your lap, palms facing down or up, or at heart center, whatever appeals to you in this moment. Let your gaze soften. Inhale, roll those shoulders up towards your ears, and exhale, drop them back and away and down, keeping the spine long, crown of head reaching up towards the ceiling, rooting down through those sits bones at the same time. Begin to connect to your Ujjayi breathing. This form of breathing is also known as ocean breath, as it creates an audible sound as you inhale through the nose. Begin to bring awareness and lengthen it a little bit more than just a normal breath. As you begin to exhale through the nostrils, create a slight restriction at the back of the throat, creating an audible sound here. Again, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Inhale here. And exhale here. As we continue with this Ujjayi ocean breath for a few more rounds at your breath's pace, I invite you to find a word or an affirmation to suit you for your practice today. It could be love, or the affirmation that I am love. It could be the word peace, or the affirmation, I am at peace. Take this moment to find something that calls to you, that anchors you through this practice, so that as your mind wanders, as everybody is known to do, you have this affirmation or word to refer back to. One more nice inhale here. And exhale deeply out through the nose. Blinking the eyes, allowing the gaze to come back to normal. Bring your hands down by your sides. Inhale, sweep them up overhead. And then exhale, swim them away from you, keeping that nice posture. On your next inhale, both hands come up overhead. And then exhale, drop the left hand down to the mat, reaching over with your right. Stay for the inhale. Maybe gaze goes up to the side. Exhale, reach with the right hand just a little bit further. Inhale back through center, left arm coming up to reach right. Exhale, drop the right hand down. Now reaching over to the left with our left hand. Maybe gaze goes up to the sky here. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, reach a little bit further, finding that nice side stretch here on our bodies. Inhale back up through center. Palms come to touch and draw it down the center line, thumbs to heart center. Bringing our hands down to our laps. You can adjust your legs if you wanted to switch whichever one is on top. We're going to be continuing on with the six-way spinal stretch with seated cat-cow. So inhale, we're going to bring our chest up towards the ceiling, just however much you want. It's not really a back bend so much as an opening of our chest. And then exhale, round through. Gaze comes down to our bellies. Feel your abs engage with that. Inhale, let it all go. Expanding the front of our bodies. Exhale around the spine into our cat. Inhale, one more for cow. And exhale around. Drawing hands up overhead, inhale. And then exhale, lift your left hand, drop behind you, right hand coming to right knee, and we're gonna open twist here. So again, we don't wanna twist the belly, we don't want to affect baby. Stay for the inhale, and then exhale, sit nice and tall, maybe pressing just a little bit more into that right hand on our leg. Inhale, back through center, arms rise up overhead. And then exhale, drop that right hand behind you. Left hand finds that outer part of our knee. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, press maybe a little bit more into that palm. Inhale, arms back up overhead. And then draw it down that center line again. And bring it back to heart center. Placing palms down, we're going to come into a tabletop position and continue to warm up our bodies on our mats from here. From tabletop, we're going to really think about our abdominals. So at this point, I want you to find a very neutral, flat back. Soles of the feet are skyward, so tops of our feet are on the mat. Stacking our shoulders directly over our wrists. Find yourself grounded in this position here, pressing in through all your fingertips. I like to imagine I'm holding basketballs under, as if I could actually grip one with one of my hands. They're a little small for that. But if I could, they'd be under the mat at the moment. I'd be holding them perfectly. That engagement really helps to protect our elbows and shoulders and our wrists. Breathe here, just normally, Ujjayi, in through the nose and out through the nose. On this next inhale, feel that expansion across the front, kind of like when you do a cow. And then without changing your spine, exhale, draw the belly in, feeling those abdominal muscles kind of knit together. It's almost like an in and up. So it's like it's going up into the rib cage here. So again, inhale, let it all go, dropping that belly down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lift it up. And then inhale, let it go. This is kind of like hugging the baby. Exhale, bring the baby up. You can see your abdominals end up bringing it all in. And then inhale, letting it all go. Let that belly hang a little bit further down. This kind of breathing will help through labor. It's that abdominal strength that we're looking for in order to push, but not with a spinal part to it. So we kind of want to isolate that here, just kind of warming it up. All right, come back to that neutral tabletop and inhale, extend the left leg out and back. Give it a few couple rocks, stretching the back of our leg, the back of our foot. And then inhale the right arm long, lift the left leg, and then exhale, drop it back down to the mat. We're gonna do that on the opposite side. Inhale, reach the right leg first, Let's bounce it out just a little bit here, warming it up, stretching the back of our right foot as well. Coming back to neutral, inhale, lift that left arm long, and then reach them all up, and then exhale down. So we're gonna continue with this now that we're warmed up on either side. Inhale, lift, right arm, left leg, exhale down. Inhale, lift, left arm, right leg, exhale down. Continue here for a few more rounds with your breath's pace. Gaze is at the mat, maybe just at the front of it, but we want to keep ourselves looking down, keeping that stability, really pressing into the hand on the mat. One more on each side. You can feel your abs engage in that way that we were breathing. And then come back into neutral. Tuck the toes, lift the knees just a couple inches off the mat with your exhale. So inhale, stay here. Exhale, use that hug, and now lift the knees up. And inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lower. Bringing those feet down, knees wide as the mat. Let your hips sink back and walk your hands forward into a wide-legged child's pose, making room for baby. Maybe circle out those wrists. We just put a lot of pressure on them. With more weight in our bodies, they have to take a little bit more in yoga, so let's kind of let them just go. Our head, forehead at mat, taking some of that weight here. And then walk your hands up towards your knees so that you come to sitting just for a moment here at the back of your mat. Walk your hands forward. Bring your feet to the outer parts of your mat, tuck the toes, and lift up into your first downward facing dog. If it feels good to you to walk out your downward facing dog, press into one heel as you bend the knee of the other leg, and continue to just press, letting go. This is a great inversion for letting baby have a little bit more room outside of the pelvis, moving it a little bit higher up. If you have high blood pressure or headaches or anything, nausea that could be intuitive for this pose, just remain in child's pose. Come back to stillness and begin to walk your feet up towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, palms come to thighs, flat back, look forward. And then inhale, reach all the way around, circle sweep arms up, and then bring them down through heart center. We'll continue into a little flow sequence here, getting our heart rate just up a little bit higher, but again, listen to your body. You don't want to ever push yourself beyond anything that you're comfortable with, that you're feeling up to it. Every single day is different, so if one day you're like, wow, I could totally vinyasa, awesome. But if that's not your day today, then no worries. We're gonna do a modified vinyasa sequence to allow us to connect to our breath and our bodies here. Coming into a stance just wider than hips distance that we can fold comfortably. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the waist, swan dive forward. Hands come to your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, look forward. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Keeping a generous bend in the back of the knees, finding blocks if you need so that we can rest them on here. Forward fold for just a couple of seconds again. If this is not good for you, stay in your half lift, look forward. But to reset the nervous system and help with all those little glands that we have, forward folds can really just take some of that anxiety and edge off, allow us to reset. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step the right leg back. Drop the right knee down. Inhale, come up into your Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, drop them into those cactus arms. Lift that chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, straighten that left leg. Hands can come to those blocks into our half Hanumanasana, or monkey pose. Inhale, back up into Anjaneyasana, arms lift up. Exhale, drop those elbows down, reach the chest up. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, find those blocks again. Again, we're hinging at the waist, trying to keep that spine nice and straight, no rounding. Chest is our lead. One more here, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, come back up. Tuck those back toes. Step the right leg forward. Coming back into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come back down to those blocks. Step the left leg back this time. Drop the knee down. Inhale, raise those arms up. Exhale, drop those elbows. You should feel this in the front of your left quad. Right hip pulls back. Inhale, arms reach high to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the waist. Warming up the back. Again, we're not trying to stretch or overstretch here. We're just trying to really warm up all the places that may feel some tightness or tension as the pregnancy occurs. Exhale, drop those elbows, lift that chest. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, hands come to blocks. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, lift that heart. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the waist. Inhale, come back into that sort of runner's lunge here. Step forward, coming into your forward fold. Root down to rise up. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Head is the last to lift. Palms come to touch. Draw it down the center line. And then down by your sides. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. we're gonna add on. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, step that right foot back, drop the knee down. We're gonna do one set here. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, drop the elbows. Inhale, reach. Exhale, find that back of the leg. Inhale, back up into your Anjaneyasana. And then drop the hands down, stepping that left foot back into a tabletop position. We're going to inhale, arch into that cow, and then exhale, find those toes at the sides of your mat, reach that hip up, exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. Exhale it all out. Out through the mouth, let it go. Walk your feet up towards your hands. And then come into a Malasana yogi squat at the top of your mat. If a block helps with sitting, you can press it under your sits bones so that you have more support. If you can sit in the squat, again, we want to allow the room for baby and also prep ourselves for how much our hips will be doing work throughout this entire pregnancy. So inhale here, see if you can lift that chest just a little bit higher. And then exhale, hands come down to the mat or to blocks. Lift those hips high. Heel toe in just a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sweep the arms up. And then inhale up all the way around. Hands come back down to center. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands coming down to blocks or thighs, halfway flat back. Exhale, step the left foot back, dropping that knee down, one on here. Inhale up, exhale, elbows out to the side. Inhale, straight. Exhale, straighten that right knee, hands come to those blocks if you need. Inhale, bend into that right knee, hands come back up. Exhale, hands come down to the blocks or the mat, stepping right foot back so we can find our tabletop. Inhale, arch the spine, try to lift the chest. Your gaze can go straight, toes come out to the sides, tuck them. Exhale, lift those hips back and up, downward facing dog. Take a nice cleansing breath here. Inhale. Exhale, let it all go out. Walk your feet up towards your hands. And let's come back into that Malasana squat. This time we'll add a little bit of flow, as much as you would like. So if this is comfortable and as much as you want to go into it, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, inhale, drop a right hand down to the mat or a block. And then exhale, bring the left arm up. It's an open twist, allowing us to kind of push a little bit on that right inner thigh. And then bring your hands back down to center. Bring that left hand down to a block. Inhale. Exhale, open up with that right arm. And then back through center. One more on the other side. And back down. Again, it's not so much a twist, it's just a little bit of an opener here. And then hands back down through center. Lift that chest, inhale. Exhale, hands come down to blocks or the mat. Lift those hips up. Heel toe in just a little bit. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, bend with the knees just slightly to get us all the way back up to standing. Hands come to meet. Draw it down the center line. And then bring them down to your sides for Tadasana. Let's refocus here and reconnect. A way to kind of get into our balance is to really root down. So in Tadasana, there's a lot of activation that can happen here, and it starts from the roots all the way up. And we're gonna do a little bit of tree, so this can be helpful for regaining balance that we may have lost as our pregnancy grows. So having blocks nearby is very helpful, as you may need it. So keeping them near. What we're gonna do just to start before we get into anything more is I want you to picture 3 corners underneath your feet. So under the toe mound, pinky mound, and at the heel. Now lifting the toes up, see if you can really press into those 3 corners on each foot and almost draw them closer together, like you're bringing those arches up your inner thighs. Now that you've activated that, bring your toes back down to the mat. Engage through the legs, lifting the knees with your thighs. Glutes are engaged, pelvis tilts just a little bit inwards. Inhale, draw the chest just up, not towards the ceiling, but just up. Inhale those shoulders towards your ears, but drop them. Exhale away as you lengthen through the crown. Hands by your sides, arms nice and strong, palms open. Now we have a fully engaged mountain pose. Shifting weight into the left foot. Bring your foot, it can come just to a block so that it has a little bit more of a leverage if that's all you feel like lifting. You can bring it to the inside of your left leg. If you have the flexibility or want to see if you can still try to bring your foot to the inside of your left leg using your peace fingers to grab your big toe or just nicely at your shin. Find the place that you feel comfortable with today. Hands can come up to heart center. Try to keep that grip on the mat with that nice Pada Bandha. That's what that grip's called under our foot. And bring your hands to heart center. Keep breathing. Inhale, grow the branches of the tree. Reach up nice and tall. And at this point, maybe bring your awareness back to your affirmation or your word for your practice. What did you set for yourself? Say it in your mind. Let your face soften. Bringing hands back down to center. Let's release that foot and do the other side. So moving that block just over if you need to. Let's reset the bandha, the Pada Bandha, so the foot bind. Just quickly now, kind of growing down our roots, finding that engagement through our legs, shifting weight into the right foot. Bring your left foot to wherever is comfortable for you. So maybe that's the inner thigh again. And every side is different. So if you feel like having it lower on this one, completely up to you, okay? Inhale, bring your hands up to your heart center and take a pause. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, grow those hands up and tall, finding your tree of life. We're all humans, but we are all filled with energy, and we are sharing that energy at this moment with a growing child inside of the womb. So feel that strength, that structure, that flow of life through you now. Hands back together, down through heart center, and let that foot release. Move the block to the side. We're gonna take a nice wide-legged stance here on our mat. Inhale, bring the arms up into a star position. And then exhale, pivot the left feet towards the top of the mat. And then drop the arms down as we bend into our warrior two. So again, if you want to bring your legs closer for any of these stances to have more support, feel free to do so. Stay here in your warrior two for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, drop those shoulders back and away from your ears. Make sure your alignment is good. Knee directly over the ankle or just behind. Inhale, straighten that left leg, reach up overhead. Let's dance the warrior out. Exhale, drop back into your warrior. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more like this. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, back through center, pivot those left toes in just a little bit, right heel spins in. And we're gonna take a goddess squat. So bringing those arms into cactus, sit down, and then come back up into that star position. Pivot the right feet towards the back of the mat. Maybe those left toes come in a little bit too. Exhale, drop into our warrior two. Building up shoulder strength in this pose. So a lot of it might seem like it's our legs, but there's a lot in our shoulders going on now. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Palms come to touch. Exhale, warrior two. Two more. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale. Exhale. Come back through center. Pivot those toes in, heels in. Exhale one more time into our goddess squat, really opening up those hips. Inhale back into your star. Toes come in to face the front or that side, facing the screen here. Hands can drop now to your waist. Inhale, reach that chest a little bit taller, and then hinge at the waist, come into a nice forward fold. Maybe a block is here to help get our hands a little bit down, a little bit more support. And then you can drop your head down, releasing tension here. Again, if this is too much for you, if it creates too much pressure, just stay in sort of that half fold, allowing the backs of the legs to stretch out just a little bit here. Maybe finding your other block. We're gonna do some hip mobility before we move into the floor sequence. So inhale, bringing blocks either to the medium or tallest height here. Have them under your hands. Exhale, move them slightly over to the right as you bend into the right knee, straightening out the left. Inhale back through center. Bring the blocks over to the other side. Bend into that knee. Continue here for a few more rounds. Go at your breath's pace. One more on each side. And then come back into center. Heel toe in. And then drop the knees down to the mat using those blocks for support. Coming into a seated position here. We're going to counter that forward fold with a modified camel. So opening up the front of the hips, the front of the thighs is also important, but we know that we have a lot going on in this middle section, so we need to be very mindful of that. So we're going to, we'll face sideways for you, rise up onto our shins. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. And then exhale, drop your hands down to your lower back. Right hand coming just above the right seat. Left hand just above the left seat. Lift the chest up. Maybe feel your pelvis move a little bit forward. A little bit more of that front stretch. And remember to breathe. Exhale, release, sit back. Shift your hips to the side. And come to a seated position on your mat. We're gonna take Baddha Konasana now. So bound ankle or butterfly pose, soles of the feet together. Maybe bounce those knees just a little bit here. If you'd like some support from the blocks underneath each one, feel free to do that here. Inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, hinge at the waist, however far you want to go. Elbows compress just a little bit down or not at all. And if you want to drop the head, you can. Again, we're letting our hips just release a little bit here. Inhale, and coming back up through center. Bring your knees up, maybe use your hands for assistance until really let our legs go and our hips kind of release now. Bring your hands behind you and just shift so that you can windshield wiper your legs back from side to side, letting them just release and let go. And we're going to do a modified pigeon, which is a figure 4 stretch from sitting. So sitting in this position here, hands with fingers either facing forward, give your forearms a stretch, or backwards, whichever feels more comfortable to you. Bring your right knee onto your left leg so you can straighten your left leg, bringing your heel closer, and then just trying to lift your chest towards. Maybe create some dynamic movement, allowing the outer hip to find some release. And the more you bring your heel to your seat, or seat towards your heel, the more you're going to find a stretch. So again, listen to your body. Switching that out, straighten that left leg, and straightening the right, bringing the left one on top, bringing that right heel closer, moving your seat as you need. Maybe find some gentle rocking on this side here. Remember your breath. Breathe through the experiences. Maybe there's some tension here, bringing up some emotions. Our hips can hold a lot of emotion. So remind yourself again of your affirmation, your word of choice. Straightening that right leg out, and then the left. Come back up into a seated position. Before we end in Shavasana, I want to do a little bit of a closing breath, just so we can fully relax and let ourselves go. So for this, find a seat that feels good. I'm going to actually choose to sit on a blanket, just so that it's a little bit softer than a block. And it allows me to just kind of like not think about that. So coming to this nice seat, however it feels good, just let yourself kind of settle in for just a moment here. So that we stop fidgeting and we just stop thinking about things. And we really find ourselves in peace and tranquility. So as you inhale again through the nostrils, filling those lungs nice and full, exhale it all out. Using those abs just to push a little bit of that air as it goes through the back of your throat, finding that slight restriction in and out through the nostrils. As you inhale on your next one, your gaze is soft. Maybe your eyes are completely closed. Inhale, peace. And exhale, tension. On your next inhale, breathe in tranquility. And release any anxiety with your exhale. On your next inhale, bring in relaxation. And on your next exhale, let go of any stress. Inhale, peace. And exhale anything that doesn't serve you. Fill yourself up with this wonderful feeling. And exhale anything that you want to let go of. Inhale nice and deeply, that you're sending that peace and tranquility all the way down to your womb at the bottom of your lungs. It goes all the way down. And exhale any tension that may be held anywhere around your belly. Finding yourself completely at ease. And exhaling, letting go. So now as you find yourself in this state of calm, keeping your eyes soft, find yourself moving over onto a place of comfort with the bolster. So this may be in front of you so that you can rest one leg on top and use the blanket as a pillow for your head. You want to come to your side so that you can lower yourself comfortably down and safely. We never want to lay on our backs and cause discomfort or unease since we've already relaxed here. So find that pillow underneath our head. Maybe our arm is straight out or bent at our sides. Bolster is in front. Allow your left leg, or whichever leg is up, to rest on here with your arm. If the left side feels better for you, as the vena cava, that vein on our back, is on the right side of your body, you may prefer it. I want you to completely release and let yourself now just let go and come into your final resting post, Shavasana. Let your whole body sink into the ground and feel perfectly supported, just like as if you float in water. The more you relax, the more it holds you up. And you can find yourself perfectly supported, exactly as you need to be. The tips of your toes, the crown of your head, and settle into your Shavasana. When you're ready,
Start to regain awareness by bringing gentle movement into your fingers and toes, but keeping your eyes soft. And create more movement by circling the wrists and the ankles. Maybe bringing that left arm up and over, lengthening that left leg or top leg off the bolster. Reach and stretch. And then come back into a little bit of a fetal position, just pausing for a moment here before pressing into your palms so that you can safely lift yourself up into a seated position. Keeping the gaze soft, your eyes can be closed or just gazing down towards the mat. Come into a final seat here to close off your practice. So maybe sitting on that blanket or a block or that bolster. Hands can come to your thighs, palms up or palms down, or at heart center. And remind yourself just once more of your affirmation and word. Repeat it to yourself now in your mind. And feel that connection that you've been able to give yourself this time and your baby inside of your belly. This practice of strength, of breath, of mindfulness. I hope you carry this energy with you for the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me for your prenatal yoga practice. My name's Jennifer. Namaste.